Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. I'm back, so I'll just explain why I've been absent for the last 5 days or so and not posting. Effectively, I just needed to take a couple of days after the Parker-Joshua fight just to rest and just recharge the batteries, because it's been quite an epic and sort of hectic couple of months in the heavyweight division. We've had Wilder-Ortiz, White-Brown, Parker-Joshua, and there's been everything in between as well. But while I was taking a couple of days off, I was still watching, I was observing, and I was thinking about all the moves, the drama, the BS, and the manoeuvring at the top of the heavyweight division in that first week of April. I mean, Anthony Joshua took Joseph Parker's belt not so long ago, but given how much has happened in just a week, it would be easy to forget that that only really just happened. But it was that win that's kicked off a screed of drama and events. And it's been sizzling, but there's definitely been a few takeouts from it all. And before I get into all of that though, I just want to recognise and thank all my subscribers. The channel, it's now 9 months old, and there's now 2,500 subscribers. 2,500 of you that are following the channel, watching the channel, and then there's others as well who come in. But thank you to everyone who has subscribed. So if you've been with me for a week, a month, or since the early days, you really do help make this channel what it is. The comments, the likes, the discussion, it all makes the channel what it is. So thank you. So now I'm back. I'll be back to my regular upload schedule, 4 to 5 videos a week. And again, I don't say this often enough, but thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Okay, buckle in. Let's go. So what I found very interesting about this past week was the respective camps for Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder kept adding things into the pot. Both sides were clearly desperate to control the narrative. They want to be seen as the side that is ready, willing, and able to do what is needed to be done to make an undisputed clash between the two unbeaten heavyweight champions. But what is so striking about all of this is it's gone on for days, with both sides reiterating how eager they are to talk to the other. I mean, as an example, Wilder's manager, Shelley Finkel, he stated, "We're ready and waiting. He's coming back to us with an offer and we're waiting for it." So the he being Eddie Hearn. And Finkel, he was also quoted as saying "The fact is, we want the fight. Deontay has sent out a personal letter to the public and Joshua." So that letter reads, "I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight you at 60-40. I'm ready to fight you in the UK. My team, you asked to meet with yours. They are ready. Just let us know when and where. There is nothing on our side as an impediment. I can't wait to meet you in the ring. That's what we want. It's the only thing we're pursuing. That's the only thing to do." So Wilder, he's also been quoted elsewhere as saying, "When it's all said and done, if this fight don't never be made, the world will know why it wasn't made. It won't be because of Deontay Wilder, it will be because of Anthony Joshua and his team. I'm my own boss. I say who I want to fight. He's not his own boss." What is he doing? If he was his own boss, he would make the decision. He let everybody else speak for him. I say what I want. Why can't he do the same? People are getting tired, man, and I'm just going to wash my hands of this situation. I'm going to let the people, let the fans, let the reporters, I'm going to let everybody that's dealing with boxing come out and smoke them out of there.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
I just need them to accept this fight, accept the terms, give us the location and date, and we're there. Okay, so before I get to Eddie Hearn's quotes and some Twitter comments that he's made, I'll add in for some added balance. Anthony Joshua, he said after his win over Joseph Parker, and this is, I quote here, "There is no issue with fighting anyone. If you look at my 21 fights, there hasn't been an issue of fighting anyone. I'm not just going to give him everything he wants to get him here. He has to do a little bit of work and sacrifice a bit as well." One of the more inflammatory comments Eddie Hearn, Joshua's promoter, has made is that AJ's focus, it's on Deontay Wilder, but we don't believe his team want the fight. So we have to look at other options. If AJ is to fight in the summer and it's not Deontay, then a win over Dorper on April 28th will put Jarrell Miller in a great spot to land a shot at Anthony Joshua. It was Eddie Hearn's statement. And my feeling on that one is, well, he's got to sort of say those things. It's the build-up to Jarrell Miller's fight against Johan Dorp on April 28th. He needs to keep his fighter happy. He needs to have a sort of goal ahead and keep that carrot out there for Miller. He's not going to sort of say to him, well, actually, mate, you're well behind the queue here. You're behind Deontay Wilder. I mean, I think he probably already knows that. He's been saying a few other things in the media that let us know that he's not sort of banking on that fight, but he is sort of calling Joshua out, saying he's ducking him and all this sort of rubbish. But anyway, I mean, Miller, it does serve a purpose to say these sorts of things as well, beyond, sort of trying to build a Miller-Joshua fight, but more actually to build a little bit of buzz for that card coming up on April 28th. I mean, Eddie Hearn will want people who are going to that card to actually think that Jarrell Miller is a legit prospective opponent for Joshua. I don't agree that he is right now. Eventually, he could be ready to face Joshua or whoever's got a belt. But Eddie Hearn, in terms of what he's been saying to fans on Twitter and whatnot, he's been telling them, Joshua and himself, Team Joshua, they're the ones that are doing all the heavy lifting when it comes to any deal with Wilder being struck. And so what I've just gone through, so the Wilder comments, the stuff from Finkel, Hearn, Joshua, all that sort of stuff, there is just so much being said from both sides trying to convince people that each side is not the roadblock. Really does make me wonder, is this fight really going to happen? Both sides are clearly trying to position themselves as the party not at fault should things go sideways.
What's going on?
The fact that the vast bulk of fights are not being made on social media or through the mainstream media should tell us that negotiations haven't really reached a serious point yet. They're still doing too much talking on social media and in the media. And if things had really got serious, I think things would quieten down, they'd be behind closed doors, they'd be thrashing out a deal. And the fact that things have been so public all week, I don't take that to be a good sign. Everyone keeps talking about all the goodwill about making a deal, but they're just not making a deal.
Practice what you preach.
Someone could have been on a plane, going somewhere, sitting down with someone, they've had a week to do it so far. I do remain hopeful that a deal can be reached, but they've really got to knuckle down and actually get in a room, or get on the phone, or do something to make it happen, rather than talking about making it happen. And then, this was a sort of from left field, well, somewhat left field. Some of us have been expecting this. The looming threat that is Alexander Povetkin has waltzed into the frame.
Aww.
So his promoter, Andrei Ryabinsky, posting this to Twitter. If your Russian is a little rusty or non-existent like mine, this English version, it will help. So Ryabinsky says, Alexander Povetkin has been confirmed as the WBA mandatory challenger to face Anthony Joshua. The fight is compulsory. The deadline is 150 days to set up the fight, starting today. Joshua has no right to fight anyone except Sasha. 30 days for negotiations.
Be careful what you wish for.
So while it's not completely unexpected that the WBA mandatory has been ordered, it doesn't make for good timing when a potential undisputed clash is on the table. It's so close. So close. As far as I can ascertain, Eddie Hearn, he can ask the WBA for an exception for Anthony Joshua to fight Deontay Wilder in an undisputed clash, or pay Povetkin to step aside. And given the tenor of the tweet from Ryabinsky, it would appear that the step-aside option is probably out of the question. And Team Povetkin have also made it clear this week they have no interest in fighting Dillian Whyte either, and that possible fight between the pair had been briefly talked about, and Whyte was adamant that the Russian had agreed to it ringside after Povetkin stopped David Price. So I'll come to Whyte again soon briefly, but it's clear that Team Povetkin, they only have eyes for Anthony Joshua. And Eddie Hearn, he's hedging his bets on this one because really that's all he can do, telling Sky Sports Anthony Joshua's next opponent is likely to be Deontay Wilder or Alexander Povetkin. We have a 30-day window to negotiate. So Team Povetkin, they've also sort of mooted they would like the fight in Russia, and they've suggested a football stadium that holds 81,000 people. And given that, I think my pick would be that a Povetkin and Joshua fight, it would probably go to Perspit, and it would see some ridiculous money being put forward to secure it in either the UK or Russia. I think, it's kind of going to be a bidding war if this one goes to that. But I'm sure in the interim, Hearn, he will be trying to do everything in the next 30 days that he can do to try and get an exception for Joshua to try face Wilder. I'm sure what would help with that is if a deal is done. So you could say that actually this Povetkin news, it could well serve to act as a catalyst for a deal to be done. As they say, nothing sharpens the mind like the side of the guillotine. So while the pot that this stew's been cooking in, it's already full of drama, I am expecting there's going to be more added before this thing is done. There'll be some more water flowing under the bridge. But before I go, Dillian Whyte. He's almost like the kid that no one wants to pick for a schoolyard game. He's there, he's ready, he's willing, he's waiting for his turn. But he's been snubbed by WBC champion Deontay Wilder for months, wouldn't pick him. Now Povetkin won't pick him, close the door in his face. But we do seemingly have an option 3 in the form of Kubrat Pulev, with the IBF ordering the pair fight in a final eliminator to become the mandatory challenger for that IBF strap. I actually like this fight. I like this option should it proceed. I mean, it would give Dillian Whyte some certainty in his career. I mean, Whyte has seemingly been pinning his title aspirations in the WBC sanctioning body, going for the green belt. But he really hasn't been getting as far as he would like. He's got to the number 1 spot in the rankings, but he's now just sitting there waiting. He's taken on Lucas Browne, he's beaten him, but he doesn't seem any closer to a fight with Deontay Wilder. But I do like this fight with Kubrat Pulev because it's a chance for Whyte to prove his salt again against a highly regarded contender, a top 10 contender. And he's regarded as having one of the best jabs in the division, Kubrat Pulev that is. But it's also a chance for Pulev to face one of the better contenders in the division. And it will tell us what Kubrat Pulev really has left in the tank, because at 36 and having been relatively inactive, I honestly don't know what to expect out of him these days. And Lucas Browne, that was a cautionary tale when it came to being older and inactive. So hopefully they can get a deal done, get a fight made somewhere around the middle of the year, and we see that happen. Oh, one more thing. I also had to chuckle when I did hear Jarrell Miller this week trying to convince us once again that Anthony Joshua is ducking him. I think him and Eddie Hearn, they must be about the only 2 people who truly believe the public is wanting that fight right now. It really does make me laugh. Anyway, so what do you make of it all? There's a lot going on in the heavyweight division right now. Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.